Hello everyone and welcome. It's Alexandra. First of all, I want to say a huge thank you to everyone who responded to my previous video with the tea bags and the teacup freebie. It was so overwhelming. I'm really thankful for your nice comments about the freebie, and also I send my sincere thanks to everyone who purchased the kit in my Etsy store. It really means a lot. So first of all, today I have a new freebie with the teapots this time, because every teacup needs a teapot. I have 4 designs of teapots that you can grab on my coffee page. They're already available there. You will be able to add the teapots to your teacups and make some more tea bags as well. And by the way, regarding the tea bags, if you purchase the kit and you already assembled all the tea bags, this is what you should have. All the tea bags are stored in little boxes, and then all of them go into one additional box, but the box doesn't have a lid, and then all of the labels from the tea bags are freely hanging on the side like this. So I was looking for a better way to store these, and that's why I just needed to have a second set of tea bags along with a new design of the storage box that will look like this. All of the tea bags are stored inside. In this kit, I also have a slightly different design of the card that goes into the pocket. On half of the cards, the fountain pen is in black, and on another half, it is in red. I hope that you will like the design of this box as well. And if I want to quickly show you the designs of the tea bags themselves, here they are. Of course, there are no limits to all the designs and all the themes that this kit can have, but once again, I just really needed to have another box design for the set of these tea bags, and I think that this set will actually be the last. Let's flip through the rest of them. Maybe some of you will see a design here that will suit one of the projects that you are working on just right. Most of them are nature themed, because that's my favorite theme of all. I really like flowers and birds and mushrooms and butterflies and those kinds of things. And this time there are also a few designs which are related to tropical flowers and birds. So yeah, these are the 24 new designs of the tea bags, and all of the tea bags just fit into one little box that we're going to assemble today as well. I'm going to show you how to cut out the elements and create the box. So just to remind you, the teapot freebies are on my coffee page, and you can just grab them from there. And the box that I'm going to show you how to assemble today is part of the paid kit, which is available in my Etsy store. Let's start with the freebie. I'm going to take my self-healing mat because we need to cut a few things out. I'm going to cover only one design of the teapots, because the second page will basically be assembled and cut out the very same way. You're going to start by cutting out the labels in the middle of the printable. If you have more labels on the sides, then by all means go ahead and cut those out as well. What remained on the page, which is the teapots, you're going to fold in half. Please make sure that you fold it the best way you can, aligning the edges and matching the corners of the cardstock. To cut out the slot, I find it the best to use either a big bite crocodile, or if you have this Japanese screwdriver, I think it's called. I have one from Martha Stewart, and I also have one which is unbranded. This tool is also great because it allows you to punch out holes in 3 sizes anywhere you need on the page or any other material that you are working with. So I'm going to find the matching size of the hole for punching out the openings on both sides of the slot, just like this. If you don't have this tool but you have a big bite, you just need to do the very same thing, punching out 2 holes on the left and on the right hand side of the marked slot. If you don't have any of these tools, then you will probably need to work just a little bit harder, but you can use your ruler and cut along the bottom and top edges of the slot using a ruler and a craft knife, and then use your very best scissors with thin tips and just finish off cutting the rounded edges of each one of the slots. I cut out one of the slots just to show you that it's possible to do even without the tools that I'm also showing in the video. Let me finish creating the slot on this top teapot as well. If you want to and you're able to do that, you can slightly distress the white edges of the cut out slot. And then what I like to do, you can either use a pencil for this or you can use your needle tool. And while the cardstock piece is folded, I will lightly mark the area where the slot is so that I can then unfold the paper and take my distress tool and add some ink there right on top of the area that I have marked. And now when I fold the cardstock, that area is no longer bright white, and that's exactly what we need. Then I'm going to open the cardstock piece again, and I will, well, I think you can also see that. I will just look at this side of the paper with the teapots and the slot cut in them, and I will see where exactly the glue needs to go. That's the area that the teapot takes on the paper. So I will mark it for now because I can't really hold the paper the way I need and apply the glue so that you can also see that. But you don't have to mark the area, and you can just apply the glue right away while holding the paper against the light. One more thing that we need to do is to mark the area where the glue will not be applied, and I am going just to sketch some vertical lines next to the sides of the slots, and then I am going to mark a horizontal line that will be, I am not sure how you can, so if the edge of the teapot, the actual edge of the teapot goes right here, then I will need to set maybe 1/4 of an inch off from that edge and draw a line at the bottom, and then this area will not be glued down when you assemble the teapot. The same thing here. That basically means that along the edges, diagonal edges here and here on both sides of the tea bag that will be stored inside our teapot, we need to add the glue and secure those edges together. If I take one of the tea bags that I previously assembled in one of the videos, I can show you that this is how the tea bag will be stored inside our teapot. I have marked for myself the area where I'm not going to apply any glue, but I can apply glue everywhere else. And once it's glued down together, I can just trim it off and put it aside to cut out around the edges later. And now I'm going to do the same on this piece of paper. When it's ready like that, I can cut around the outline of the teapot. This is what we're going to have at this point. Now you can cut out the area here on the handle. You can decide whether you want to do it or not. I'm using my craft knife for this step. Okay, so one teapot is done. And of course you can then distress the edges with some more ink. Your tea bag will go inside the slot, just like that. And then you can glue the labels either on one side of the teapot or on both sides. That's up to you to decide. But yeah, that's how the teapots are assembled. I hope you like them. I hope they can make a great addition to your previously created teacups. Let's move on to the box from the kit. All the parts of the box are located on this page, and I will start by cutting the elements of the box out. Where the elements are lined up, I can go ahead and trim the white paper edges by one go. Let's have an additional look at what we have on the page. So that's the base of the box, as well as the part here that will have to be glued down next to this paper section later on. And then we have some matting pieces for the box, like the element here that will go on top of the lid. Then there is also an element with some nice saying that will be glued down inside the lid. Let's have some tea and talk about happy things. And then there are two more matting pieces that will go on the narrow sides of the box, and two more that will be glued down on the wide sides as well. Now let's cut out the matting pieces and leave the base of the box on the page. Now I will ink all the edges of the cut out elements, and I will set them aside for now. And I will get back to this box right here. Chloe just woke up, so she might be joining us as well. So getting back to the box, I will now have to, first of all, cut the section that will be added to our base right here. I will use my scissors for trimming the corners off. This is what you're going to have so far. Then I will do the same with the remaining piece. When you cut on the sides of the top lid, just make sure that you don't cut any further than this corner right here, because we need the side flaps for assembling our box. I'm going to use the scissors and cut with the scissors right into the corner here. And then for the rest of it, I can already use a ruler and a craft knife. I will use a corner rounder to round the corners next to the part of the lid that will be tucked into the box. Now it's time to fold the pieces before actually assembling the box. I'll start with the smaller element here. I'm going to fold the side flaps, and I'll use my bone folder and a ruler for that. I will place the ruler next to the outer edge of the central section on the printable, like so, and not like so. For example, when you cover the white gap between the pieces with your ruler, you should see the white gap. So your ruler will be positioned on top of the paper like so. And then I'm going to use my bone folder and lift the side flap and crease it with the bone folder, kind of pushing it towards the ruler. And then I will refold it in the opposite direction, like this. And I will repeat these steps for the remaining two flaps. This is what you're going to have. I will repeat the same steps for the wide sides and the flaps of the box on the base. When I fold the wide paper section, I also make sure that I line it up along this edge to make sure that they meet. Let's repeat for the opposite side. Okay, and we also need to create folds on the shorter edges. Okay, now everything is folded. Let's glue the little. Now when everything is folded, let's connect this piece of paper to the rest of our box's base. I'm going to apply the glue to the narrow flap here and then glue it to the larger part of the printable, like so, making sure that I line up the edges and the corners. And after everything, you should still be able to see the white gap between the paper pieces that will be of the same width as the rest of the white gaps. While the box is still flat, we can take advantage of it and mat it with the paper elements that we have inked and cut out before. So let's take the part that will go on top of the lid. Please pay attention to the direction in which I glue each one of the paper elements on top of the box's base. For example, the next piece, and you can use either this image here or this one, but it will have to be glued upside down, and I'm centering the printed paper piece on top of the box's base because you are going to have a border around that image. Now this image, whichever one is left of the two, will have to be glued down the right way and not upside down, and you will see why when you finally look at the assembled box. You can also choose which labels you want to glue where. I am still not gluing the matting pieces for the wider sections of the box to these panels because I want to assemble the whole thing first, and the flaps on the sides will be on the outside of the box because I find that it looks way better that way and not with the flaps being on the inside. It just looks neater and cleaner, and then the flaps will simply be covered with the matting pieces of paper on the outside of the box and will be barely visible. So let's do that. I'm going to apply the glue on these areas of the flaps. And then what you have to do is just make sure that this edge of the paper panel on this side meets the fold of the flap. Okay, then you can pinch here in the top corner and do the same for the flap and the paper panel on the opposite side. And then when you put everything like that on the working surface, you can use your bone folder and burnish in those areas which you glued down with your bone folder. Okay, and this is how it will look like. Let's do the same now for the remaining pair of the flaps. Now we can add our matting piece to the inside of the lid, and I think that before doing that it would be nice to add some ink to the lid here. Make sure that you center it on top of the lid. Let's add some more ink to these white edges in all the corner sections of our box. Yeah, okay, so what's left now is just to glue down the remaining paper panels to the sides. And that is it. You can add some more ink along the top edges of the box. I think it looks better now. And now many of your assembled tea bags are ready to go into that new box that I showed you how to assemble. I hope you liked today's video. I have a little company right here. She was bored in her bed on the table, so she came right here where I can't miss her. Absolutely no. Right, Chloe? Chloe, show your pretty face. Yes, my baby. Okay, guys, thank you so much for joining me today. If you have any questions, please ask them in the comments below. Again, thank you so much for all your lovely comments that you left under my previous video. It really means a lot to me. I wish all of you a wonderful week and happy crafting. Talk to you soon. Bye.